so we have sound. Hope you can hear me well. Hey Miguel, nice to see you here. We're gonna take off on a uphill. So I hope you have your ERG mode engaged already so that you don't get into much trouble here. You shouldn't feel any gradient though in the workout mode. We have a pretty intense session ahead. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made a choice to be here. Really nice big group today. We're gonna stick together as the workout mode has a rubber band in the group, so no matter how hard you push, the group will stay together. You do not need to worry. All you have to focus on is your own workout, your power targets. If you have updated your game to 4.0, you will see a little different interface around, but should be pretty familiar. The pool, the wattage might be because there is another smoothing process going on. So it could be that the ERG has a different smoothing. We talked about it in the podcast. So you might want to check if your power is showing 3 or 1%. 3 or 1 seconds, excuse me. All right. We have a pretty short warm-up coming up. The plan for today is, after this warm-up, as you can see each step now. You have 30 seconds of zone 2, followed by 30 seconds of zone 4, and repeat that one more time. That's gonna be our warm-up. And we have just a brief time in zone 1 before we start our work. And yes, our work starts already with that first ramp. Today's goal is we're gonna deplete our muscles beforehand a little bit. So we're gonna do that ramp. Zone 2 here now. We're gonna do that ramp so that we have some fatigue in the legs. Then we have a short rest before we enter the main set. The main set, I will leave you open to have your ERG mode engaged, on, or disengaged, off. We have zone 4 coming up here. I'll keep talking about the workout in a bit. 30 seconds. Hit that power to warm up. It's a really high power, so push it hard here so you achieve your target power. You should see it now on the left upper side of your screen. All the way on the left, and on the left right next to your heart rate is your target power, and right in the middle is the power you're actually producing. All right, so 30 more seconds in zone 2, and we're gonna go back to zone 4. Got a really good warm-up going on before we enter the first ramp. Up until all the way on the ramp, you can have your ERG mode on. All right, that will help us keep the target power because we really need that pre-fatigue in the legs. We have a zone 4 coming up now for 30 seconds again. Push it up here. Just a little bit more. Concentrate. Get a good cadence going. Keep a good form so you warm up well here. And then we're gonna have our zone 2 again for 30 more seconds. All right. All right. Zone 2 now, a little bit further. And then we get just a little reprieve in zone 1 before we start our ramp. Then I'll chat about our main session. The ramp is really important though. We need to hit those numbers, all right? So always stick with your target power and make sure you're following the workout. Okay, 1 minute here in zone 1. Grab a drink now. I hope this was enough to warm you up. It was actually short but effective warm-up. The ramp should give you more time though. because this session is short, as per usual with the live sessions here, with me as a coach, but I choose very effective sessions so you can get a lot of work done in little amounts of time, which varies between 30 and 40 minutes usually. Okay, we're gonna start a ramp now, and leave your ERG mode on, so you're just forced to follow that ramp. It will be slowly increasing, sneaking more and more power into it, so that by the end, we're gonna be pushing pretty good, way into our zone 3. So this shouldn't feel comfortable, because we're starting at a relative high zone 2 already, and we're gonna only ramp up from here on and hit some tempo. So after that ramp, we have 6 what I've called semi-sprints. It's your choice if you're gonna do them on ERG mode or not, because for lighter riders or with a high FTP, they usually struggle keeping the target power when there's a sprint workout. So sometimes you do have to turn the ERG mode off in order to keep up with it. Stephanie, the gear doesn't really matter. It only affects if you have in-game virtual shifting. So everything else should work normal as per usual. Just that the power smoothing on the ERG mode is indeed a little different. All right, so for those sprints, we have 20 seconds sprints, semi-sprints. Why semi? Because we're not going completely all in the sprints, or all out, so to say, because after each sprint, we're gonna hold zone 2. And out of that zone 2, we're gonna go into another semi-sprint. So that will teach us the tolerance of that high power, but in a way that you can actually do it, because if you go all out on a 20-second sprint, you usually don't have the zone 2 anymore. You would need really some easy riding to reload your ATP to have that kick again. So we're gonna practice semi-sprints today. What I want you to pay attention to is your form on the bike. So if you have ERG mode on or off, you might want to do those sprints standing, which is, well, the most common form of sprinting during a race. But if you wish, if you want to train very specifically high power seated, you can do this as well. All right? But remember, we have 20 seconds and the power target is pretty high. It is a semi-sprint. So if you could check beforehand what the power will be, it will also show on the upper left hand side of your screen. That's new, that now we can foresee each block that is coming up. So you will see the required power in just a moment here, in about 2 minutes, once we go into that final preparation zone 1. You will see the next power requirement, and then you can choose to disengage your ERG mode. But if you do, it's going to be really hard to come out of the 20 seconds into that zone 2 again. So you might want to turn it back on right away, or you're going to really need to focus to keep the target power. And you got to promise me that you're gonna do it, because that's how the workout works, okay? We go into that semi-sprint, and we go into that zone 2, and out of the zone 2, again a sprint. And can you handle it for 6 times? Okay, that's the challenge today. The first one might not feel too bad. The second one, okay, but once we hit the last ones, we will really need to focus and push through. So by now, you should be feeling really the pressure in the pedals here. through the ERG mode. It's pushing us up very high into zone 3 right now, almost into zone 4. So you gotta keep that pressure on. We'll have just a little reprieve. So you can check your power. You can check and decide if you're gonna do it on ERG mode, on or off. I do recommend leaving the ERG mode on and really trying to push that target power, probably standing, so you don't get stuck in the low cadence. There's no cadence target, but now you can see your target power. Look at the upper left side. That's gonna be your target power. Decide now if you can do that power for 20 seconds. If you know you can, one time, then do it on ERG mode. If you know that's not realistic for you, then you should disengage it. But I would recommend, again, leave it on. All right. We have 20 more seconds, and we're gonna start our first semi-sprint. You go out of the saddle, and you hit that target power, and you hold it for the whole amount of time. And we're gonna go into zone 2 right after. So here we go, get ready, and up, 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 up. Find the power, hold it, come on. All the way to the line, half out through. Hold it, hold it, hold it. All the way to the line. You can do it. Come on. All right. Good job, good job. You keep rolling now. Now, be patient with yourself. I know it burns right now. Settle into that zone 2. Let the burn come through your legs. We have some time to settle in again, but we need to keep that target power. So really keep it engaged here in your zone 2 power. It should be a middle high zone 2. All right, good job. Now you got a feeling for it. Can you do 5 more? 5 more semi-sprints out of the saddle?